the way my mind works is I reverse engineer regret. Regret scares the out of me. Like I'll give you a real weird thing to do. If you want to do something kind of off the beaten path that will make you feel good and you'll get even more in return, go spend one day in a retirement home. Go talk to 5 90-year-olds. If you really listen, all you're gonna hear is regret. They're gonna talk about a lot of stuff they wish they did. And so for me, when I'm thinking about you gotta keep up your grades to do your thing. You clearly gotta, like, you're busy, right? Because you're an athlete and a student. There's just still a lot of time that's put into Madden. There's still a lot of time put into other dumb shit. And how it plays out 99% of the time is you're 29 and you're like, fuck, I wish I. That's it. That's all. That's what I trade on. And not because I'm smart, just because I talk to a lot of people and I just listen.
Yeah, I mean,
right? Like, I wish you're right. The amount of people that are gonna go on to do things here. But listen, it's not for everybody. Like, I don't wanna be the guy sitting up here, the 40-year-old talking to you and be like, say hello to people, all this dorky shit. Like, I get it. It's still gonna play out that way though.
You said, you're just gonna be you. You're gonna be authentically you. Give these guys a strategy on their social. Take it a step further.
I think they're better off being them. Like, you're 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old alpha male dudes. Like, you know what you don't know at 19 and 20? You know this, like, when you're 41, you're still 20. Like, you're not tricking anybody, and they're empathetic. They know who you're supposed to be. Like, as long as you're not doing something crazy, murdering fucking people, like, as long as you're not doing crazy shit, like, I actually think people should go more into who they actually are, because people know that's what you're supposed to be anyway. Like, you're so worried about the edges, right? Like, you're supposed to be.
Can I say this? It kind of ties to him. I swear to you, about a month ago, I saw one of his videos for the first time, right? And I liked it. Boom, got my hair standing up, right? And I got to the point where I was like, damn, I wanna repost this. But in my head, I had my coaching hat on, I was like, damn, he's cussing though. And I was thinking like, well, what if a recruit's parents is on my page and they're like, and at the end of the day, you know what I said?
Fuck it.
Fuck it. And I reposted it, straight up. You know what I'm saying? Because in my head, I'm like,
if you lose a kid because his mom's mad that that you reposted a cursing video, that fucker shouldn't be at USC anyway.
That was the point though to me though. I'm gonna be honest with you, this is a true story. True story.
I believe that.
Time I've met Gary, right? But true story, I was just like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm supposed to be an example for y'all, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, everything I put up and, this, that. Like, I'm not gonna put the twerking video up, right? You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, he's actually saying something that's dope because he said the F word, right? Like, does that make it wrong or bad? I was like, man.
And things are getting redefined, right? Like, look what, like, rich people dress differently. Like here's what I always worry about. You're trying to get positioned for the world that you think it is, but then the world moves on you. Like all those 40-year-olds that got straight A's that came up with me and went to Princeton and went to fucking Wall Street and everything, they all DM me, they're like, fuck. And I'm like, yeah, because you thought the world was gonna stay still. By the time you're 25, 27 doing your thing, the world's gonna redefine. Facebook's gonna come out and entrepreneurs are gonna wear t-shirts and sneakers. That's not what I grew up with. It's not what 41-year-olds looking ridiculous bullshit socks and shit. Like, that wasn't real. Like, the world's gonna move. The Mendoza line's gonna move. What Miley Cyrus did twerking on MTV is lame compared to every fucking post on Instagram now. The world moves. So trying to conform, to me, the reason I am me, and do you know how much money I lose for cursing, for example? We had a company not give us a $5 million account because somebody on the board didn't like that I cursed. Good. Like, because I got plenty more money in return for actually being myself. And again, you can't break rules and all that. That's just the way it is, right? But like, being yourself always plays out. Always plays out.
What would you consider is your biggest failure, and what did you learn from it?
Jeez. I think my biggest failure was working every minute of my 20s. And when I say every minute, I mean all of them. Like, no weekends, no friends. And I think I was just too hungry. Like, that's why I've always liked Kobe, where it's like he gets a little like, it almost feels like it's a little evil and dangerous. I'm like, I get that. Like, I went too far. Balance matters. And And I think I resent and regret, and I really don't, which is why I even took a pause. But I think the biggest thing I learned about that is, you know, it wouldn't have killed me to, you know, go out a couple Friday nights. So I think I'm more balanced at 43 than I was at 23. But bro, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm really trying to manifest an answer for you. It's unbelievable how much practice I have on the inability to dwell. You know, I passed on Uber twice on the angel round from one of the people that I was best friends with while investing in a bunch of other things, and that $50,000 investment would be worth $900 million. That was a mistake. You know, there's so many mistakes. I mean, like, I make a mistake every day of my life, like a lot of them. Like, especially now where I'm crippled by opportunity, like, you know, every day I'm fundamentally sure of the following sentence. Every day I'm making pretty big mistakes because I'm saying no to something that could have led to the big thing of happiness or success. I'm just not crippled by that. I just don't understand why people spend time on that. Do you know how many people that are in college debt spend 80% of their downtime being resentful that they took on debt for something they've come to realize didn't bring them as much value in return? The problem is it's over. Like, I'd much rather, if they took all that time garage sailing and going to TJ Maxx and flipping, they could start chipping away at the debt.
We have time for
TJ Maxx is loaded with arbitrage. It is. You go to TJ Maxx, spend $1,000 and make $4,000 on eBay and Amazon every day of the week. But instead of making that $3,000 of putting in work, instead of watching Netflix or going to do something else, people would rather sit and complain why they pay. People would rather sit in a bar on a Friday afternoon, buy an $18 cocktail and complain that they're in college debt than do what I just said. I think it comes down to responsibilities, where you are in your life, age group. You know, I really do think that if you're under 30, everything should be in play. You should sleep in the subways of, you know, Singapore. Like, you should live on a rock. You should, you know, not eat for a year but not die. You know, like, everything should be in play under 30 because there is no reason to disproportionately deploy practicality under 30 because of how long people are gonna live, on how much that's an incredible time in your life. And I would absolutely, if you're under 30, just pick up and go, especially if you're not prima donna. See, one of the great advantages of being an immigrant, as I think about the book that I may want to write one day, I Wish Everybody Was an Immigrant, one of the main chapters is lack of entitlement or no prima donna gear, right? Like last night, my mom and dad went out to dinner with me. We were at an event and we walked through the rain with like no umbrella and we were just laughing. Like, we just looked at each other as everybody else in this kind of New York City gala was like umbrellas and Ubers and we just kind of looked at each other and we're like, Belarus, you know, like, it's just, there's nothing that's kind of sacred. Everything's pretty ghetto, meaning that if you're able to, Bernadette, like, sleep in a crappy hotel or at your friend's couch, or if you're just not in need of cozy things, well then of course you should pick up and go, because you could work at McDonald's and live in a shithole and be happy if that's what's pulling at you. If you need certain things to function as a human, like a clean bathroom, or you know, coziness, then it becomes harder for you to pull it off. So I think that the graph is really completely predicated on what you need to function. For me, I need nothing to function, literally. It's so damn scary, and so everything's in play when it comes to that kind of extreme, because I can go to zero. I know what it's like to live on a small budget. I don't need fancy things. I can wear the same 4 pieces of clothes on rotation for 3 years. You know, so I just think it comes down to you and your ability to grind. And the truth is, and I've been speaking to a lot of people about this issue over the last year, most people like to say they can grind, but they don't. So that's on you. How old are you?
I'm 27.
You got fucking time. It's a balance of regret and patience. Like, you can go hard on for 3 years, do nothing right, wake up, and be young as fuck. You should really go to a retirement home one day and volunteer and just talk to them. It will make you want to do shit every minute of your life, because when you see regret in a man's eyes, it's fucking painful because you can't do shit about it. When you're 90 and you're not mobile and you're tired and it's over, you can't do it. You can't do it. You can't build that company you wanted. You can't spend that time with your kid. It's regret. And it fucking drives the shit out of me.